Hi everyone, welcome to the Green-Eyed Ram. I'm Ruthie. I am the Green-Eyed Ram. I'd like to say thank you, first of all, for everybody who's come to watch this video today. Yay! And a special shout out to Tiaspod, another YouTuber who actually gave me a shout out, and as a result of that, my numbers on my subscribers has jumped many, and I'm so excited. I'm just a little channel and I'm just getting going, so it's so fun to know that anybody is interested in hearing what I have to say. So with that being said, welcome. Hopefully I can find something interesting to share with you today. Oh my goodness, life has definitely given me a lot to work with. Not a lot of video, but a lot of life. So what do I mean by that? Well, everybody has a challenging life, no? Everybody. Some have more challenges than others. Some have blessings, more blessings than others. But really, we're all in this together. And I don't want anyone else's problem. The wind is picking up. This might be a problem. Okay, I'm a one-woman show here, so if I scoot off every once in a while or make a weird face, it's because I'm thinking the ducks are quacking too loud, or the wind is blowing too hard, or my dog wants to jump up on me, or something crazy like that. Anyways, I'd like to start off by inviting you to see my garden. And this next little video is something I put together so that you could enjoy a moment of peace and a few minutes to just appreciate what's growing here. It's March? No, April? Oh my gosh. It's April, it's Friday, the 9th, I think. Anyhow, who really cares what the date is? It's April. And things are growing here in Ecuador, in the San Cristobal area, and just sit back, hope you have a cup of tea, and just enjoy the beauty that is the incredible things that our Creator has given us. So enjoy, and I'll see you when you get back. Was that not fun? I hope you really enjoyed taking a moment just to see what can grow and where it can grow, and have hope for wherever you live. If you're still in a cold climate, that spring is around the corner. Things are wanting to grow. They're hiding their little heads under the snow or deeply buried, but they'll be there, and I hope you can stop and appreciate how beautiful those things are. I do. Anyways. So, you may notice that my voice is not the same. My voice is kind of, my son, who is 15, gets a good kick out of this one. He says, "Mom, you're losing your voice." This is actually much better than it was. He says, "I sound like a teenager going through the change of voice." You know, he can relate because he's 15. And he hasn't really squeaked that much, but I'm squeaking a lot lately. And so I hope that my words will all come out, and I hope that my diction is clear enough that you will be able to understand what I have to say. Anyhow, so please forgive my voice. And why is my voice like this? My family has been sick. We have been sick for about 3 weeks. My son is recovering, so don't worry. He's made great progress, and I can hear every day just a little bit less of a cough coming out of him. Unfortunately, my husband has a horrible cough, and for those of you who know me and followed me, or this is not your first video, then you'll know that he recently had open heart surgery, and his lungs are very sensitive. Anyways, just being the man that he is, and this cold, cough, flu, whatever it is, has sunk its claws into his lungs and into mine. And we're not letting it stop us. We're continuing to enjoy our life and to enjoy what we've been given, the privilege we've been given, and the blessings that we receive. I hope everyone out there is doing well, and we're doing everything we can to get better. It's just the nights are horrible. As anyone who's had a cold knows, my goodness, the moment you lay down, you're finally tired enough to sleep, and you lay down, and all of a sudden everything pools and you want to cough all night long. So we've had a few rough nights of that. Today, we had an adventure today. We had no choice but to leave our property and to go into town. And I haven't been out of this space in weeks since the lockdown, and today was the only day that we could go because our car plate is a 0, and Friday is the only day zeros are allowed, 0 being the last number of your license plate. That's the law here. You're allowed to go out and do your essential things. So we had to go and get medicines, and there was no other way. We live outside of the city. None of our friends were in a position where they could go to get the medicine that we needed. So long story short, we had to leave. We left, barring, you know, all the sanitary necessities. We put the masks on, and we made sure to create our distance from anyone we were to come in contact with. But because we had to go, it, obviously goes against everything that I tell people not to do. I say, stay home, don't leave your house, and don't risk contracting anything or giving it to anybody. And our life put us in a position where our medical health needs required us that we go. And we did. And it was an adventure, I tell ya. It was an adventure. Leaving here, we had to make our way from our farm area into the main streets, the autopista that takes us back into the city. But that's not an easy thing to do because there are roadblocks and the police check your plates and make sure that you're doing and obeying and everything else. So we passed through and we got into town, and there's some video I'll show you about that. Um, and as I think it's best that I capsulate before I show you the video. I'll put together a video for you. But just some pointers, things to look out for, things to pay attention to, or notice or not. Going through the roadblock was really interesting. I tried to capture a little bit of that. The first place, the first store I went to wouldn't sell me any of the feed I needed for my animals, which I needed to purchase so it would last the next month. And I don't know if it's the circumstances we're in or if it's just the color of my skin, because I experience racism all the time. And the woman would not sell me any feed, none. And there I waited my turn. I wasn't coughing, nothing. I had a mask on just like everybody else in line, but when it became my turn, she just said no. And who am I to argue that? I'm not going to argue that. So I moved on. We left. We went down the road. We found another place, and I was able to purchase feed for my family. Then, what was really interesting was I noticed that my ducks really want to talk right now too. When we made it into town and I finally was able to find my way to a pharmacy, which was something amazing here in Ecuador. I walked in with an empty bottle of my husband's Neurontin and just said, I need this. And they were able to provide it for me, which was awesome, without a prescription. She saw that I needed it, there was no questions asked, and away we go, which I really appreciate. Now, for some who, may think that that's not cool, doctors need to prescribe. Well, a doctor did prescribe for me, but they just didn't need the physical prescription to be able to move forward. So thank you for that. So we went to a number of different pharmacies. The other thing was right in El Centro. Typical in the center of town, in the past, there are people who are, you call them beggars, I don't know. There was a young man who just wouldn't let up, and he just went to every person, and it's unsettling for me. And kind of, you don't know if he's just asking, please give me something because I'm starving, I have no job, or I need money, I need food, whatever, or I'm setting you up for the gang that's about to attack you and take everything you have. I mean, literally, that's the other option. So there was a bit of unsettling going on with that. And then what happened? Let me see. Fun thing. On our way back from town, after going to a number of different pharmacies, collecting, because each pharmacy would only sell us one box of his medication, and one box only has a few tablets in it, and it won't last very long for him. And we really don't want to leave here. So we went to a number of different pharmacies to collect enough medicine for him for the month. And on our way back, we went past, we stopped down this road that is where we used to be able to go in, and there's an amazing bakery, the best place to buy croissant, which you never find here. I'm just saying, never. But there's this one place we found that makes great croissant, and they didn't give up on their business. They decided that they were going to put a little hole in the window in the front of their shop, and instead of us going in and choosing what we want, they would get it for us. And they have a little sign that says, don't put your head through here into the window. So they wanted to keep distance. I thought it was amazing. As we left there, you will see there is a lady who's had a farm stand, and they came to the window of the car, and they let us purchase some vegetables right from the car. So we didn't have to get out. There was, the distancing happened, and nobody touched any of the vegetables and the fruit that we got. So it was great. Okay, we're heading out. We have to try to find some food for the animals. Ooh, there was a car on our side of the road. And today is the only day our car is permitted on the road because it has a number 0 at the end, and it's Friday. And we'll see what we can find. Here we are, heading down the road. My husband's ready with his mask to put on because the police like you to drive with a mask on. I don't know how efficient that is, but it's the request, so we'll be obedient when we see them. So here we go. What was your question, honey? Sorry.
Carlos this morning was saying that they're got the highway blocked off right down here because they're transferring dead bodies to Azogues. What did he say?
No, I think he was talking about, if I understood him correctly, what he was talking about is to wash, well, first of all, Azogues, which is up the road from us only 15 minutes, is blocked. Apparently they put a big pile of dirt. They're concerned that people from Guayaquil have come, and so they won't permit people to go because they think that they're bringing the disease with them because that's where the dead bodies are. So it's 10 o'clock and we have to be back by 2 because there's a curfew, and we're only permitted to be out of the house during that time. So we shall see. Now we're approaching where there would be police to check our plates. So let me tell you.
And then they get a time to go on vacation, and they can't go on vacation.
Yeah. I don't know that they work so hard, and that poor little restaurant is, just a structure basically, and it's an outdoor restaurant. Normally is full every day, all day.
7 days a week.
7 days a week, okay. And it's been closed ever since. Empty parking lot right there. That's normally where it's
Never empty.
never empty. Sad to say.
Right here, getting on the freeway,
Yeah?
they had military with AK-47s.
Really?
Yeah.
Right here.
At the intersection.
Just stopped at the pharmacy and I was able to walk in with my husband's empty bottle. Oops, we're moving now. Of Neurontin, and get some gabapentin. So that was encouraging. Do you have 5 cents? The first place I went to, I stood in line, waited my turn, and then she just basically said, "Oh, we don't have anything." And I don't know if it's because I'm white or it was true because they had a lot of stuff. She just didn't want to sell it to me. But I moved on to the next place who did want to make some money, so there you go. That's how it is here. Welcome to Ecuador.
Huh?
I'm a little bumpy, sorry. This street normally is just jam-packed. You can't even get across.
And this intersection.
And this
right
intersection, cars all the way up this road. All the way. Never have I come up this road when there wasn't more than us. Wow. I mean, it was jam-packed full. You had to snail space it. This takes us up to Calle Larga. My husband is going to the pharmacy to see if he can get some more Neurontin. We're in El Centro looking at Parque Calderon, actually, right in the corner. This is Centro de Centro of the city. And let me show you. Parque Calderon. So we decided, since my husband has run out of Neurontin medicine for his neuropathy and pain, that we would try to hit up as many pharmacies as we can on this one trip, and see that he can get his supply, because he goes through quite a bit of it every day. And so we pulled up over here, parked the car, and a young guy is come begging at the window, and I'll show you who he is in a minute. As long as the police are around, which there was a lady in red, and she made him go away. But pretty much, he's working the territory. This is how it is here in Cuenca normally. Especially in El Centro, there are people, often homeless or Venezuelans, who have come who don't have a job, and this is what they do. And it's how they survive. It's there are no jobs, so this is what they have to do. Sad situation, and I can't help everybody, so pray for them all, and pray for us. Take care. This kid is begging everybody. Now the police are coming. We'll see if he still bugs or begs. Either way, he's walking away. He's walking towards me. We'll see. So here's the difference. This is Neurontin, Gabatina, and this PVP is the price, $30. Same thing, $11.69. Gabapentin, 30 capsules. Who knows? Different company, half the price. But at least we got it. Well, we've gotten to our third pharmacy, and there's a significant difference in price, but at least we're getting it, and that's what's most important, right? He's going to be cared for. So at the moment, I'm waiting in the car. My husband has gone to the TIA to try to pay for our phones. We'll see how that goes. They're spraying you from head to toe before you enter, and you have to wait. So we'll see how that works. I'm sure he'll have a story to tell when he gets back. I forgot I'm sitting in the back seat. So used to being up in the front seat. You can go around. I think they stopped the guy in front because he has a 7 on his plate. They're being pretty diligent about making sure. Hola, buenas. So we were able to get la maíz, chanca y trigo. It's the corn, ground corn, and wheat. So we didn't make it back. Long story short, short story long, whatever. We made it back. And everybody's safe and sound, and we're back home, not going anywhere, not going. I have no need to. Staying in my little space. Got what I need, thank you very much. Not gonna bother anybody. So, on to some creative aspects of my life, creative things that I've been up to. In the last video, I showed you a picture of the Irish sea shawl that I did in the alpaca, white alpaca, for a young gal, a young friend of mine. She was finally gifted it, and she loved it, and she was real happy wearing it. So that was exciting. And I finished her sister's shawl, which is the same pattern, the Irish sea shawl, but it was in the gold and blue. So here's some pictures of it. And now it's April, and along with the April, oh please ducks, shh. So now it's April, and I'm doing the Cal, Tia's Bod, her Cal is called Free Socks 2020, and each month she's choosing a pattern, and this month the pattern is awesome, and I cannot, and not even going to try, not even going to, it starts with an R. That's all I can say. Read it. No, not even a chance. Not even a chance. But the pattern is amazing. I love it. And guess what? I finished. Oh, wait a minute. I have to hide a string because are things really, I mean a string, an end. Are things really finished? This is the pattern. This is the sock. I love these socks. They're awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And why? Okay, let's talk about why. First of all, free pattern. Not that I mind paying for patterns, because I do. Is there a hummingbird? Oh, yes, there is. I don't care if I have to pay for a pattern. That's as it should be. You know, designers work hard. But it's a free pattern, and you can find it on Ravelry. What did I learn? I learned how to do toe up. I've never done toe up socks. So I watched, it's called a Tunisian cast on. And I watched a YouTube video. Oh my gosh, my nails are terrible. Anyways, it's how to cast on the toe and gradually increase so that you have, for non-knitters, because I know I have family, Lorraine, who doesn't knit. You cast on, usually it's in a single round, and you know, for me it was, you know, the top down, and this is toe up. And you have to do this really interesting manipulation that allows you to create the toe and continue on. And look at this. Look at how, I mean, for real. It has the most unique pattern. The beautiful patterning on the front. And then on the base of the foot, you have a completely different pattern. And when you get to the heel, it's this cushy heel, and then it's like bam, you get this really super cool triangle thing that creates the heel turn. So you end up with like this amazing sock, and I love it. And it's got little flowers. It's meant to have beads. I didn't have any beads, and I wasn't gonna go shopping for beads, so I just made the flowers flowers. So anyways, I finished the socks, and as far as knitting goes, that's it. That's it. I'm looking at my wool, I'm looking at my stash, and I've got some beautiful wool that I would like to make something out of, and I haven't committed my mind to, so I don't even have anything cast on. I literally have nothing. But in the meantime, I've been thinking about my rabbits. So I've been thinking about my Angora rabbits. I've been thinking about them, and thinking about them, and thinking about them, and with all that's been going on between the packing and selling and trying to downsize and being hit with the virus and lockdown and everything, I totally forgot I have a huge harvest of Angora wool. And I got to get me some spinning. I got to get me to sit my derriere down for 1 minute, okay, probably a few hours, and spin and get me some wool. And I had a really cool idea. Originally, I was thinking of, there's this, I found this in my search to figure out what I'm gonna do with the stash that I have. I don't have a huge stash. So, I found this amazing pattern for it's called a kimono, but it's not a kimono, but it's like a big sweater with, you know, kimono style, you know. And I thought, maybe if I took the wool, the yarn that I have, and mixed it with some Angora, I could get some great textures and make this really cool kimono. So that was my initial plan, and then my brain, you know, the creative thing that just happens where you think about all kinds of stuff. Then I was thinking, you know, I have a loom, and I haven't used my loom in like forever, and I have yet to actually weave my Angora. So I thought, well, how about I weave my Angora? And a lot of people say you can't because it's not strong enough to withhold the weft and the batting and stuff. But then I thought, well, you know what? I know how to be gentle. I don't have to beat the crap out of it, you know, like when you're putting the things through. So I'm going to give that a go. So I have two plans. I have the one kimono for which I'll set the link to that pattern, so if anyone's interested in seeing what I'm talking about, because it's an interesting, there's something, I've forgotten the name of the designer, but and something about 1,000 trees or 1,000 something. The pattern, so there's a lot of space and yarn overs to create space, to create texture. So it's not like a solid piece of fabric. It's got a lot of loose bits. And I thought, maybe I can see what I've got that I can mix up and make something kind of funky and different. And it doesn't have to be perfectly form-fitting because it's kimono, right? Kimonos are not form-fitting. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to weave, which means I have to spin. So I have done a little spinning. Check it out. All right, what else do I want to talk to you about? As for some other creative things I've been doing, I was inspired by something my brain just, before you know it, your brain just takes you places, you know, especially that creative part of who you are. If you just let it be. And I like to let it be. I like to listen. So I'm really excited about Sashiko. And Sashiko is a method of needlepoint, of embroidery, shall we say. And Boro is the end result in Japanese Sashiko. They use Sashiko, which is the little points in and out, to take old fabric and reinforce it to make a stronger fabric. But the whole process, if you took it in a modern way, it literally takes fabric, placing it on in a kind of a patchwork way. And this is the first item I made. And I'll insert a little video to show you what the heck is this. It's a double pointed needle holder. And basically what I did was stitched it all together and created this terrific double DPN holder. That's the first thing I did. The second thing I did, along the same lines, I'm totally excited about this whole Sashiko, Boro, and I started creating this. It's a project bag or a little bag, but it's so cool. And all I did was lay out bunches of pieces of my fabric that I had, and then I just started stitching like a crazy person, and 2 or 3 days later it was ready to assemble, and I made this amazing bag. And it's so super cute. It's super cute, and I'm really excited. question to you all is, what are you doing in this time? Um, I find myself, I live in Ecuador. I have my family, my oldest children live in Canada. I have family who live in the United States, and I'm watching the news to get an idea of what the heck is going on, and I'm trying to follow what's going on here. Every day here, there's a new rule, a new, don't do this, don't do that, and which is good. I am totally happy with that. I would like to say to anyone who has watched the CNN story about what's happening in Ecuador. In fact, if I can, I'll put a link to the bottom in the description box to that story. It was kind of scary. They talked about bodies being left in the street, a difficult reality, and but there's a lot of misconception, and I'm not going to say it. Don't. Not going to use that word. A type of news that isn't always completely accurate. It's a little expose and dramatic. But I'll tell you, the Ecuadorian people are beautiful, kind, loving, and trying really, really hard to protect themselves and their families. And so if they come up with some weird rule, then I'm going to abide in it. And I guess next week they're starting with a color code system, something about each province will get like a red, green, yellow, light to say based on how dangerous or the circumstances are. And I'm not going to quote numbers here right now for how many cases there are in Ecuador, because it's changing every day, every minute, and excuse me, but there's going to be, and hopefully in time. I don't think this is something that's going away fast, unfortunately. My gut, my instinct says this, if we're lucky, if this is resolved really in a year. I appreciate, I really truly appreciate watching the Canadian news. The Prime Minister Trudeau, which I'm going to show my ignorance right now. I knew he was Prime Minister. I'd heard the name. I knew he was Prime Minister. Now, I'm Canadian. I lived there many, many years, 20, 30 years ago. And I literally just found out that he is Pierre Elliott Trudeau's son. Now, for my American watchers or from another country who are not Canadian, you're going to think I'm an idiot. But no, I mean, let me explain myself again. When I was growing up, Pierre Elliott Trudeau was the Prime Minister of Canada when I was a teenager. And I do not keep up with the news, and I certainly am not political. My stance, specifically because I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses, I do not participate or indulge in those kinds of conversations or thoughts. But what was funny is I should be abreast to the news, right? I should at least understand what's going on in the world, and so I'm like, oh, this Justin Trudeau, isn't that interesting that they got another prime minister with the same last name? Oh my gosh, sometimes I think I am the blondest, dumbest blonde you could get, because I thought, oh, okay, I Google, who is this guy, and, Trudeau, and I discover it's his son, the same man who was the prime minister when I was a teenager. Well, good for him. And I thought, okay, I really do. That is a pure example of the fact that I literally do not follow anything politically in the news. I don't follow anything in the news until just now. Until right now, given the circumstances, given what's happening with the virus in the world, that's the only reason. And I'm an idiot. Okay, maybe not an idiot. Maybe misinformed. Maybe ignorant is a better word. So I'm ignorant. But now I know. And I recently, because I think that's it. I think. Do I have anything else to say? Somebody's honking. I'm not expecting anyone. Hopefully it's not for me. I don't know what that is. I'm moving on. Anyways. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to talk about today. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. Yeah, no, I'm good. I've shared my heart with you. I wish you a very, 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 very creative week, day, month. Find some time. That's what I wish for you, is that you can find some time to draw something, to doodle something, to sew something, to knit something, to crochet something, to quilt something, to weave something. Oh, to make something. Make something. Anything. And let me know. Link it in the comments. Talk to me, people. I want to know what you're up to. Until the next time. I am the Green-Eyed Ram. See you. Bye.